Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys.
Let's check out some more value stocks now with Tracy Reinick, our value stock analyst at Zacks.com. And we've got a couple of good value suggestions here today. LINC Educational Services, the first one, LINC, ticker symbol on the NASDAQ. They're in that private educational space?
Yep, they sure are. They are, as you said, one of the companies that gives private education. They're a little different than some of their competitors in that they tend to be more towards the skilled trades, automotive, areas like that where you can get additional education. Although they did just acquire a regional college, and so now they have 2 regional colleges, and that effort is part of their expansion plans into more online education area, which is big right now. Okay. But the company is booming in the areas that they're in. They just reported record earnings per share for the quarter. They've beaten surprise and estimates 4 quarters in a row. So, things are really on fire for them. They're seeing a huge surge in student population year over year and then quarter over quarter as more and more people, given the economic conditions, go back to school. Yeah. The stock itself isn't real expensive right here. It's trading a little bit over 11 times earnings. 14 times earnings, I'm sorry. And their PEG ratio, because the growth rate is so high, is under 1, which is a really good ratio for a value stock to have. It's at 0.86. They're also Zacks number 1, and that's mainly because the estimates are surging. They did raise guidance in August when they last reported, and the guidance was much higher because they've been beating every quarter, and they see this incredible surge of new students down the road, and they don't see that ending anytime in the near future, they said. So they did raise guidance for the year, and of course, all the analysts also have been raising for both the third quarter and for the year quite sharply, as you can see. The stock has been a little interesting. It hit the lows a couple months ago, and it has traded higher, but not as much as you might think, given what's kind of been going on in the educational sector. I mean, it's doubled, but we haven't seen the tripling or quadrupling in the stock. But that's also what makes it kind of an interesting value play right here, because the underlying fundamentals are really strong in this area right now.
All right, this might be a more familiar name to many. Del Monte Foods, DLM, the ticker symbol. Yes. Where's the value here?
Well, Del Monte is interesting, and they get kind of mixed up with Fresh Del Monte, which is a separate entity. They're not corporately related.
Separate company.
Yes, that the Fresh Del Monte does like the fresh fruits and things like that you see at the supermarket, and Del Monte does the Del Monte brand and Contadina, and they also do a lot of pet products like Kibbles and Bits and Meow Mix and things like that for your pet. And they're more U.S. and South America, so you don't really find their products from this company internationally. But the food area is doing real well right now. That's where people are staying home to eat, and the pets segment is doing real well for them. They saw a big volume surge and sales surge in their pet area, and this last quarter revenues were up 12% company-wide. So they've been seeing pretty good returns. Their PE is pretty good right now. It's a little over 11. This is the one that's a little over 11. And they're not altogether expensive. They're also a Zacks number 1 rank because just like we saw with Lincoln, their estimates are also up. They also raised guidance after, actually this was also a record quarter for them, which they just reported in early September. So, that's really recent data for them. And, because they beat big, they reported 30 cents, I think it was, and the analysts were only at 3 cents for the quarter. That's a huge beat.
It is, yeah.
They raised guidance, and all the analysts have been scrambling to raise guidance, so the estimates are up really sharply on them because they also raised their guidance. But the chart is also interesting. They bottomed back ways too, just like everyone else, and they've only a little over doubled off of their lows. But, like I said, the stock is pretty attractively priced here at a little over 11 times earnings going forward.
You say doubled like it's a bad thing.
I know, but compared to a lot of other stocks, that are getting more crazy bounces. Yeah, but it's still, that's what makes it a value play, because it's kind of a little bit undiscovered here.
There's more value left.
That's right.
Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
All right, check out more value stock suggestions by Tracy on Zacks.com's homepage in the upper right-hand corner. That's where we put all of our Zacks Rank Buy stock picks every day. 4 new ones up there for you to consider. With Tracy Reinick, I'm Terry Ruffalo.